Early voting begins in New York mayor's race with Mamdani ahead in polls. Polling places have opened for the start of in-person voting for one of the year's most closely watched elections in the United States, the New York City mayor's race. New Yorkers on Saturday began choosing between Democrat Zohran Mamdani, who has built up a sizable lead in the polls, Republican Curtis Sliwa, and former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, a Democrat appearing on the ballot as an independent. The incumbent mayor, Eric Adams, is also on the ballot, but dropped out of the race last month and recently threw his support behind Cuomo. Mamdani, a Democratic socialist, has energized liberal voters, drawn to his proposals for universal free childcare, free buses, and a rent freeze for New Yorkers living in about 1 million rent-regulated apartments. Cuomo has assailed Mamdani, who would be the city's first Muslim mayor, over his criticism of Israel. Mamdani, who has weathered anti-Muslim rhetoric during the contest, says Israel's military actions in Gaza have amounted to genocide, a view shared by a UN inquiry, genocide experts, and numerous rights groups. In an emotional speech on Friday, Mamdani said the attacks against him are racist, baseless. To be Muslim in New York is to expect indignity, but indignity does not make us distinct. There are many New Yorkers who face it. It is the tolerance of that indignity that does, said Mamdani, who in June beat Cuomo to achieve a landslide victory in the Democratic mayoral primary. Cuomo has portrayed Mamdani's policies as naive and financially irresponsible. He has appealed to voters to pick him because of his experience as the state's governor, a position he gave up in 2021 after multiple women accused him of sexual harassment. New York has allowed early voting since 2019, and it has become relatively popular. In June's mayoral primary, about 35% of the ballots were cast early and in person, according to the city's campaign finance board. In neighboring New Jersey, the governor's race is also being closely followed. It features Republican State Assemblyman Jack Ciattarelli against Democratic U.S. Representative Mickey Sherrill. New Jersey adopted early voting in 2021. The off-year elections in the two states could be bellwethers for Democratic Party leaders as they try to decide what kinds of candidates might be best to lead their resistance to Republican President Donald Trump's agenda. The races have spotlighted affordability and cost of living issues, as well as ongoing divisions within the Democratic Party, said Ashley Koenig, director of the Eagleton Center for Public Interest Polling at Rutgers University in New Jersey. New.